Matt Lenihan Boxing Social in association with William Hill, Empire Fights. So delighted to be joined by Anthony Yarde. Anthony, I know you've done about 500 interviews, but you did speak to me yesterday, so thank you for giving me some of your time. Last time we spoke, it was before your last fight against Beterbiev. You were in good spirits. You went in there and what many people said was a Fight of the Year candidate, if not definitely Fight of the Year. Reflecting back on it now, what's your initial thoughts? What's your takeaway from what was a great night of boxing?
What a fight. That's it, literally. Me being in the fight, I knew it was a good tear-up. Afterwards, watching the fight, without emotions, as a boxing fan, it's like I was watching it as if it wasn't me. I said, what a fight. What a fight. It was a good fight, man.
What did you learn from it? You came out of there with a lot of plaudits, a lot of people saying, you know what, he's a world champion in the weight-in. That must mean a lot to you for someone who's been through such a lot. I was saying to Tunde, off camera and on camera, your team as a whole, you receive such a lot of criticism off the back of your amateur fights and not getting pushed enough. And then when you do get pushed and you take them deep dives, you get criticised to high heaven. So talk to me how that feels, to get that validation for you as a fighter.
For me, it's hard to explain because if you focus on the criticism or opinions of others, you end up in a bad situation. If you focus on the good stuff and you listen to all the positives, you end up in a bad situation. If you listen to all the negatives, like in all aspects, if you listen to too much of anything, it's not good. You don't say too much of anything, it's not good for you. So it's just one of the things, man.
Because you went through a lot. I remember speaking to you pre-COVID, then COVID came, you went through a lot. Do you feel now that you're in sort of the best place in your career now, so that this next chapter, post-Beterbiev, you can kick on now and hit that potential, and now that you know you are a world-level fighter for definite, you did it against Kovalev, you were really there. We saw a more accomplished performance though, against a better fighter. Do you now feel like, you know, it's coming close now, we're nearly there till you hit that part where you become champion?
Yeah, I feel like with Kovalev and Beterbiev, they're just different fighters, and styles make fights. You know, I feel like the only way to know these things is to stay tuned in my career. Stay tuned in my career. I personally, yes, I know that the future is amazing. And then when you look at the journey, I'm going to look back and say, what a journey. What a journey.
In terms of the UK boys as well, look at this scene now. You've got Dan Aziz, Joshua Buatsi, Denzel Ben. Everyone's ranked. Everyone's around each other. No one's stock goes up or down really from a loss because you can all fight each other. Do you feel like you'll be able to get one of them fights next, or is it a case of, look, let's see if we can get another title fight? What do you think?
I think it just depends on a lot. Like you look at what's happening in the boxing. You look at all the other fights in other divisions, and the fight either happens or it don't happen. You know, now we've got two major fights happening that everyone's happy about. You know, Tank against Garcia.
I'm going to that. Who do you think wins?
Massive fight. I think Tank wins. I'm not usually a person that gives predictions because anything can happen in boxing, but I think Tank is self-explanatory. You know, yeah, he's a tank. He can hit and he's skillful. He's not just a hit. He's not just a puncher. I think that's an exciting fight. And then my guy Devin Haney, I think he's gonna show what he's really made of against Lomachenko.
So now's the time to make these fights. Everyone's showing they can do it. I know I was speaking to Tunde about obviously Buatsi, who works with Boxer, and Boxer have shown they'll work with Frank Warren in the past. Ben Shalom's, you know, Joseph Parker came across. Do you think that's a possibility then, that a fight will eventually get made?
Which one?
Buatsi.
100%. I've been saying this. Like, I've been asked that question about 100 times. The fight is inevitable. You know, it's literally inevitable. So all it is that the negotiation has to go well. Again, I've been in massive fights. I've been in the biggest fights, and I'll be honest with you. I kind of feel sorry for him in some areas because his whole professional career has been about Anthony Yarde. That's not a good thing. I would hate that. Buatsi's whole professional career has been about Anthony Yarde. Give the boy some respect. He was an Olympian.
Yeah.
His whole career, his whole professional career. Oh yeah. You know, you're 2 fights in. You know, eventually you get to Anthony Yarde. You're 10 fights in. You're getting closer to Anthony Yarde. I don't know how many fights he had now, but we want an Anthony Yarde fight. Like, let the boy have his career.
One thing I will say about you is you never really slag anyone off. You're respectful. These guys are your rivals, but you're both from the London area. You both could be doing other things. Does that sort of mean a lot to you when you look at the career and you're proud of all these fighters who are putting a career in? They'll be a big part of your journey when you eventually do share the ring.
Listen, do you know what's amazing about this thing? You talk about Dan Aziz. You talk about Craig Richards. These are 2 guys I used to train with. Me and Craig Richards have shared so many rounds together. We were stablemates at one point. So to see all of us at the top of the it's mad. We're all in the light heavyweight division on world rankings, in the top 10. That's amazing. I'm the best of the bunch, obviously. I'm the best looking. No, I'm joking. No, but it's actually amazing for this to actually be happening. London boys, it's big.
Yeah, it's a bit of a takeover down south, isn't it, for the London boys in this division. Have you got a message to obviously the people who are maybe not on the right path at the minute? You mentioned obviously away from boxing, you could have been on a completely different path, but you found a life in boxing. We mentioned 12 amateur fights, and you got your way into boxing. You got yourself 2 world title shots, and you're not finished yet. You got so many big fights ahead of you. You're just coming into your prime. I would say, even though you're obviously over 30, you're still coming into that prime stage of your career, still learning, still getting better. What's your sort of message to these people maybe who've not stepped into a boxing gym and don't know what to do with themselves, maybe getting into a bit of trouble?
I would say it don't need to be boxing. It don't need to be a sport. It don't need to be anything really. All I would say is where there's opportunity, it can happen. And the reason I say that is because when people say, oh yeah, anything's possible or whatever, unfortunately, the way the world is, there's some people who are never going to get an opportunity. And that's what sometimes drives me. I'm like, I'm blessed. I've got so much opportunity. That's why I've made something of myself, because I understand that. There's some people living in, you can call it the slums in another country, hardly getting any fresh drinking water. It's not possible for these people. That shit hits home to me. So anyone that's in this country, in England, America, anywhere I wouldn't even name the countries, but if you're not in poverty, if you're not in slums, and you have opportunity, make the most of it, or make something of it. Don't disrespect your opportunities, or disrespect the opportunities or the blessings you've been given. Don't disrespect it. So don't be talking and saying, I want to do something and then not do it. That's mad.
Did that period through the pandemic, did that sort of open your eyes to life a little bit and make you count your blessings? Because I know inside you never showed anything. I saw you do interviews, go, look, I'm still happy, I'm still out about it, still training. But was that a bit of an eye opener for you about maybe how lucky you are in life and what the opportunities you have been afforded through boxing?
No. It was before that. It was even when I was in school. You see maybe certain adverts. You when I was old enough and lucky enough to travel with different parts of the world, and you see things for yourself, how people live their life. Even in this country, how some people actually live in their lives. Of course, I'm blessed, and again, my biggest blessing has been my mindset.
Talk to me quickly just about your trainer Tunde. I've got to mention him. Apart from the daft photo you took of him, which was hilarious, he got a lot of criticism pre-fight and for years of her talking, and he says, look, I'm evolved, I'm growing a bit, I know now when to sort of almost turn it off with the talking. And finally, I think after the Beterbiev fight, I think him, yourself, you all got credit as a team. He knew you as a fighter, he knew the right thing to do. Do you feel like now sort of you as a team, not just you as a fighter, are getting the credit you deserve for the years of hard work? Because a lot of you get criticism in a lot of close quarters, but you're finally now getting that you just deserve kind of thing.
I don't know, and it don't really bother me. Because one thing about boxing is I understood this before I got into the sport. If you're relying on opinions of others, you're destined for failure. You're destined to be depressed. You're destined for negative mental health. You're destined for so many things because you're searching for validation. That's not me. I don't search for validation from my friends. I don't search for validation from my family. I don't search for validation from the public. I search for validation from myself. We get feelings. I'm a godly person. I believe in God. I'm not religious, but I believe in God, and I believe that you know right from wrong. You know by feeling. And when I feel okay, it means that I'm okay. That's deep what I'm saying. And that's the validation you need. And that validation comes from God. So a lot of people are not comfortable in their own skin. A lot of people are doing things for other people. And I can't live my life for anybody else. I can't. So sometimes we fall into that trap. You know, you want to please people, and even when I'm doing good things, I'm doing it for myself. If I'm looking after my family, I'm really doing it for myself. I'm not going to do good things for my family and be like, oh, I don't even want to do this, but I have to. If I don't want to do it, I'm not doing it. Because that's not real. That's not coming from the pure part of my heart. I'm only going to do things from the pure parts of my heart. And even when I'm boxing, it has to be pure.
And finally, just from me, have you got a message to all your fans, the ones from the early days and the ones that just got on board with more recently? Yes. Have you got a message for all these guys who are supporting you and wanting to see you get to the top?
The ones who have always been on my side, I love you the most. The ones who saw me from early and just love my vibe, love my energy, I see it, you're the real ones. You're the ones that can recognise realness. All the naysayers that have become fans, thank you. I also love you too. And all the newcomers, appreciate you guys too, because it's all part of the journey. It has to be balanced in life. It has to be negative people, there has to be positive people, it has to be fans, it has to be haters. It's all part of the journey.
Andy, thanks for talking to Boxing Social. We look forward to seeing you in another big fight. The last one was a cracker. There's so many good fights for you, and appreciate your time, bud.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.